Huh.
I would.
Sheriff know these?
And
Okay. I'm missing a piece of bone.
hang on.
No,
You're saying that, Bob.
I'm telling
My bad.
you. Stevie's one. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Ms. Oglesby, my name is Thomas Jordan. I'm the Chief Magistrate Court Judge. This is your first appearance hearing on this specific offense. I'm here only to inform you of your rights, get your bond set, and get your paperwork moving, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Give up that right. Any statement that you make could be used against you. You have the right to run an attorney. If you cannot afford one, you fill out an application to see if you qualify for the public defender. As those will be charged with the offense of obstruction of an officer. You understand what this offense is? Thank you. You have the right to a trial by jury. You have the right to be indicted by a grand jury. You have the right to a preliminary hearing or second appearance. However, if you are released on bond, there shall be a waiver of that right to the preliminary hearing. As if you understand your rights, as I shared them with you, if you would please sign here for me.
Judge Jordan, while she's signing that, is this the misdemeanor?
It is.
And isn't she entitled to a bond as a matter of rights? Okay, I thought you were going to do that.
No, this is a different one.
Thank you.
Ms. Oglesby, your bond has been set at $1,500. While you're out on bond, you must keep your current address and telephone number. If these two numbers change, please allow the sheriff's office to know. While you're out on bond, must not violate any laws of these states, possessing of dangerous weapons, indulge in drinking alcoholic beverages, use, possession, or sale of drugs. Any additional criminal charges brought back before this court, I won't be able to give you another bond. For mailing purposes only, a little small line here, but signature on the top. After your signature, an address and a phone number anywhere across the bottom will be fine.
I don't have my cell phone, so I don't think they can call it.
They'll help you get your number before you get released. The officers help you with that.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Oglesby, do you have like your parents' number or something that somebody could get in touch with you? Okay.
All right.
That will be provided ASAP.
These officers take care of you. Have
It's
any
just
questions,
in
they'll
case
help
they
you
can't find
get
her,
a
so
phone
they
call
can get
just
a
a
notice
little
of
bit.
court.
Is she expecting that, sir?
No. I've asked several times, we only had the one.
Never ask a question if you're in doubt.
I'll remember that from this day forward. All right.
Let me say this for the record too. I don't know if you're recording this, but I'm here only for bond purposes. Okay? And I haven't talked to any of these accused persons in detail about the cases, the charges. If I do get involved, I will let everybody if I indeed get involved. Okay? I appreciate you doing it as quick as possible. This first appearance. It's always tough.
They're going to blame Mr. Blackwell on me.
Do you need to take the Nelson back?
So we have Stevie,
We have.
R.C. as well.
It's That's it. Just one.
Stevie and R.C. Or just
You
Stevie?
have, we have Nelson Blackwell, you have Steve Oglesby, R.C. Oglesby, and Amy Oglesby.
Those
Yeah.
four?
Yeah.
Left.
That's all we have left.
So that was 3, so you have 7.
Yes.
Total 7.
Yes, I believe there's maybe one more at the jail, but they haven't, in the city, but they have not brought him here.
And if I may, do you anticipate additional charges?
I don't, all I have are
What you have today.
what I have is today. That's all I have. But I don't know if there's more warrants coming, but the warrants that I have, that's what we're having here inside.
Yes, ma'am.
It's right at the end. It's a
Okay.
RICO. It only has one charge.
It just didn't say that, so I didn't know that.
Well, that's because the city filled out that paperwork. You know better. I do that to you.
Mr. Blackwell, he's here, correct?
Yes. I think they're going to move the females to the back.
Okay.
R.C. and Stevie are here.
No, R.C. and Stevie were housed out along with Amy.
R.C.
And-
in Albert County?
Yes, they're making the loop to pick him up. They're on the road back here with them.
Stevie is in Oglesby County.
Yes, we're ready for Blackwell.
So Blackwell's the last one right now.
Yes,
When will you do R.C.?
as soon as they get here.
Be here momentarily.
What we're doing now is pro forma, so I may not have to wait. You can just go over the paperwork, since you're not going to grant bonds. Just judge, give them the rights. I may not be here for R.C. and Stevie.
Okay.
Captain, have we got an ETA on the other three yet?
Let me find out.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Read rights, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Blackwell. Mr. Blackwell, my name is Thomas Jordan. I'm the Chief Magistrate Court Judge. This is your first appearance hearing on this specific offense. I'm here only to inform you of your rights, get your paperwork, and read you your rights, okay? Mr. Blackwell, you have the right to remain silent. Give up that right. Any statement that you make could be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, you fill out an application to see if you qualify for the public defender. Mr. Black, we've been charged with the offense of racketeering. Mr. Black, you understand what this offense is? It's not a trial if you're guilty or not guilty. Only that you understand what the offense is. Thank you. You have the right to a trial by jury. You have the right to be indicted by a grand jury. You have the right to a preliminary hearing. However, if you are released on bond, this shall be a waiver of that right to the preliminary hearing. Ms. Blackwell, if you understand your rights, as I shared them with you, Ms. Sue, you sign here for me. Black, you'll sign here. This is where I'm going to take your paperwork down to the Superior Court Judge's office. This black, a small line right here, but this paper here is where my court isn't able to give you a bond today. Going to refer it up to the Superior Court Judge's office. You can share that with repeat what I just said. All right.
Blackwell, the Superior Court Judge is going to have to consider your bond request. This honorable court can't consider it today based on his protocol. So a petition for bond will have to be filed in the Superior Court, okay? And that will be done ASAP, okay? You'll probably have to stay in jail over the weekend. Whether or not you get a bond hearing early next week, mid next week, late next week, remains to be seen. You understand that?
I don't understand why.
That's just the way that the court conducts its business. You're charged with RICO. It's a felony. This court doesn't have the authority, will not exercise the authority to consider your bond. The Superior Court judge will have to, okay? You were arrested yesterday, so this is a rather fast first appearance. This court could have waited 48 to 72 hours for your first appearance, but he's doing it today out of courtesy to all of you who've been arrested just within the last 28, 30 hours, okay?
All right, when finishing here, I apologize.
No, go ahead.
When finishing here, they'll let you get phone calls. If you have any questions, these officers try to help you get some direction. You'll go with these officers. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, sir.
The other three are here.
Very good.
We're going to start with
Stevie,
Amy.
Oglesby, R.C. Oglesby, and who else?
Amy.
Amy.
We're going to start bringing Amy in now.
All right.
Keep looking up, Don.
Habits are hard to deal with.
Yeah, know what was supposed to be there in the wall.
Hey, Amy.
Hey.
Stevie's wife.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm Ms. Oglesby. Ms.
Well as
Oglesby.
can be expected, Judge Jordan.
Ms. Oglesby, my name is Thomas Jordan. I'm the Chief Magistrate Court Judge. This is your first appearance hearing on this specific offense. I'm here only to inform you of your rights, get your bond set, inform you of your rights, get your paperwork moving, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Give up that right. Any statement that you make could be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, you fill out an application to see if you qualify for the public defender.
Those are all. She has 10.
Ms. Oglesby, you've been charged with the offense of RICO racketeering in 10 counts. You understand what this offense is? It's not a trial if you're guilty or not guilty. This is only that you understand what the offense is. You want to share that with her? You wish me to read it?
You can do it, Judge.
All right.
They want to read her the specific allegation.
All right. Now, what I'm going to share with you is what the warrant states, because that's all that I know, okay? Because I'm here today, as I say, to get your paperwork started and inform you of your rights. So if you'll bear with me just a second. It reads, District Code of Georgia 16-1644 between the hours of 7 p.m. on 9/19/2019 and 8 o'clock on 9/19/2019, the place of said offense being Hart County, Georgia, and against the laws of Georgia, said offense being described as Amy Oglesby and Stephen Oglesby did conspire through a pattern of racketeering activity through an enterprise did commit financial transaction card fraud in violation of OCGA 16933 and financial transaction card theft in violation of OCGA 16931. When Amy Oglesby did use EBT card not issued to her, which provided to her by her Stephen Oglesby, which was traded for a quantity of marijuana. That's all that I can read, but that's all that I know.
And she has 9 different dates.
And there's 9 different dates on each of the 10,
Do
okay?
you understand what you're charged with?
Ms. Oglesby, you have the right to a trial by jury. You have the right to be indicted by a grand jury. You have the right to a preliminary hearing. However, if you are released on bond, this shall be a waiver of that right to the preliminary hearing. If you understand your rights as I shared them with you, you would please sign here for me. So if you'll sign here is where I'm going to take your paperwork to the Superior Court Judge's office. Those here, if you'll sign a little small line, I will be denying your bond today on these charges and passing them further to the Superior Court Judge.
The
All
reason
right.
he's denied your bond, he's passing that authority on to the Superior Court because of the nature of the charge. And it's this court's protocol to do that. It's just pro forma stuff. It's what he does. So a petition for bond will have to be filed in the Superior Court. Do you understand that?
When will that happen?
ASAP.
All right, we're finishing here. They'll let you get a phone call if they have any questions. These officers try to help you some direction. Thank
You'll
you.
be in over the weekend. Thank you.
Okay. This is racketeering times 3.
Okay, thank you.
Stephen.
Afternoon, Stephen. Good.
Hello, Mr. Oglesby. Mr. Oglesby, my name is Thomas Jordan. I'm the Chief Magistrate Court Judge. This is your first appearance hearing on these specific offenses. I'm here only to inform you of your rights and get your paperwork ready. Mr. Oglesby, you have the right to remain silent. If you give up that right, any statement that you make could be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, you fill out an application to see if you qualify for the public defender. Mr. Oglesby has been charged with the offense of racketeering in 3 counts. You understand what this offense is? It's not a trial if you're guilty or not guilty. Only that you understand what the offense is.
Yes.
Thank you. You have the right to a trial by jury. You have the right to be indicted by a grand jury. You have the right to a preliminary hearing. However, if you are released on bond, this shall be a waiver of that right to the preliminary hearing. If you understand your rights as I shared them with you, would please sign here for me. Just so if you'll sign here on this top line, it's kind of small. My court will not be giving you a bond today. I'm going to be deferring this on to the Superior Court Judge's office, okay? And here, if you'll sign here for me, that's where I'll take the paperwork down to their office today.
Did my wife get a bond?
No. So let me. if you
Please.
will,
Yes, sir,
Judge,
please.
A petition for a bond has to be filed in the Superior Court. This honorable court has refused to grant bonds in all cases except the misdemeanor case. She'll get out on bond today because she's only charged with misdemeanor. You're charged with RICO as well as the 6 other defendants. And this court has deferred the consideration of bond to the Superior Court. So a petition for bond will be filed ASAP, and the hearing will hopefully be next week sometime. You'll be in over the weekend, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Oates. Have any
We'll tell
questions?
you more about that later.
These officers help you. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Okay. Here we go. 2. Okay.
Proceed. May I discuss preliminarily what I've been telling other
Fine, please go ahead.
persons? R.C., this honorable court is going to be reviewing your rights with you, also what you're charged with. He will ask you if you understand what you're charged with. This court will not issue a bond today. It's this court's protocol to assign it to the Superior Court, to transfer it to the Superior Court, which he's going to do. I know, that's the same reaction that most people have given.
In my church, I think it's just I'm a pastor of the church.
I understand. A petition for bond will be filed in the Superior Court ASAP. This court heretofore has already indicated to the others who have appeared before him in just the last few moments that he will not issue a bond in any case except the young lady who's charged with a misdemeanor,
Yes, obstruction
obstruction misdemeanor. Who is that?
Coverage.
Yeah. And so she'll be getting out of bond today. The rest will have to wait for the Superior Court to consider the request for bond. So
That's the end.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right.
He will not issue a bond.
Good afternoon, Mr. Oglesby. Mr. Oglesby, my name is Thomas Jordan. I'm the Chief Magistrate Court Judge. This is your first appearance hearing on these specific offenses. I'm here only to inform you of your rights, get your paperwork moving. Mr. Oglesby, you have the right to remain silent. If you give up that right, any statement that you make could be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, you fill out an application, seek a qualified public defender. Mr. Oglesby, you've been charged with the offense of racketeering in 2 counts, theft by shoplifting in 10. Mr. Oglesby, you understand what these offenses are. It's not a trial if you're guilty or not guilty, only that you understand what you're being charged for.
Understand.
Thank you. You have the right to a trial by jury. You have the right to be indicted by a grand jury. You have the right to a preliminary hearing. However, if you are released on bond, this shall be a waiver of that right to the preliminary hearing. You understand your rights as I shared them with you. If you would please sign here for me.
I've reviewed all this paperwork and that's safe to sign.
Mr. Oglesby, this is where I'll take the paperwork down to the Superior Court Judge's office. Mr. Oglesby, a little small line here, but if you'll sign here, this is where my court will not be issuing the bond at this time today.
No. It's Friday. Judges are on the bench or not in the office.
Thank you, Mr. Oglesby. If you have any questions, his office will help you get some direction.
And the
They'll get
DA
you
is
some phone
entitled to
calls.
be heard as well. The DA has to be there too. It has to be a hearing involving the defense and the prosecutor. Okay?
Is there a way that I can come on?
You can call when you get back there.
Like, they never went to put in there. You heard it on the court.
Captain, can you let him call from here?
I let my phone call.
Thank
That'd be
you.
good.
Thank you, Captain. All right, I'm done.
This concludes the bond hearings today. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is one of your